Welcome back to the Wolverine Goes to Hell storyline. Quite a few years ago, there was a storyline in which Wolverine was tricked into going to hell, revived from the dead, battled against the X-Men, and has now gone on a journey to try and clean up his past. This is an older storyline, but that doesn't mean it's not a good one. The playlist to Wolverine Goes to Hell will be down below, but we're coming to the conclusion of it with Wolverine Sabertooth Reborn. If you're wondering where you are, you have found the Comicstorian channel. We take some of the lore to your favorite comic books, video games, and movies. We break them down into audio dramas, allowing you to be up to date and enjoy yourself while trying to maintain your normal life. And I hope you guys enjoy our Wolverine special of the day. There's a thunk and the scratching of metal on cement, and Wolverine grunts as he climbs ever higher on the Empire State Building. He tells himself, just a little further. And once he makes it to the top, he drops a chained up Cloak stating, "It's okay, you're safe now." Cloak weakly says that he has Dagger. And Wolverine cuts the chains asking, Who has Dagger? When Cloak rests his weight on Wolverine, he tells him, Sabertooth. The shock of hearing that name causes Wolverine to loosen his grip and he lets go. The two begin to fall from the Empire State Building with Wolverine shouting out, "It's not possible! I cut off Sabertooth's head! You don't come back from that!" He then tells Cloak, "We have one shot at this. You need to teleport us out of here. It's not about us anymore. It's about Dagger, remember? Because if you don't do this, Dagger is as good as dead if what you're saying is true." Seconds later, Wolverine starts digging up the grave where he left Sabertooth. And just like that, though, he finds Sabertooth's body still there with his decapitated head right next to it. Wolverine picks up the head and after inspecting it, tosses it and asks, "Who exactly is the one who took Dagger again?" Cloak tells him that it was Sabertooth. He came at them fast. It said that if he didn't release Romulus from the darkness dimension, that he would kill her. Wolverine tells him, "You stupid. You let Romulus out. He didn't want Dagger. They wanted Romulus. They knew that you would ask for help, and..." Just then there's a scream and Wolverine runs towards the direction of where the sound came from. As he steps over the snowy hill, he sees his old cabin, the one that should be destroyed, but rebuilt by someone, not him. He kicks in the door to see Romulus holding Dagger by the throat. For those who don't know who Romulus is, because this is an older story, Romulus is believed to be the one who was driving the force of Weapon X forward, who caused all of the pain in Wolverine's life. Wolverine shouts, "Let her go!" And Romulus tells him, "You should be thankful. Sabertooth wanted to kill her right off the bat. Old habits and such." As Romulus throws Dagger aside, Wolverine gets in his fighting stance stating, "We both know there's only one way to come out of this, and you're gonna die!" Wolverine charges at Romulus, stabbing his claws in, pushing Romulus into the fire pit and outside. Romulus laughs. "If killing me was that easy." He swipes, cutting at Wolverine's leg, and as Wolverine falls back, he asks, "Who are you working with? Why did you come back?" He bashes Romulus across the face of the tree bench, shouting, "Again, what the hell do you want?" He then pins Romulus down, holding his claws to his throat, telling him, "You better tell me or..." Romulus whips his head back, headbutting Wolverine off, and then he punches his claws into Wolverine's chin, telling him, "I had a long time to think within the darkness dimension." Romulus then grabs Wolverine by the wrist and begins to crush it, kicking Wolverine's legs out from underneath him. Romulus then goes on, telling him, "We could have accomplished so much together. Riches, women, power. Now look at us, fighting like a bunch of savages." Just then, Romulus feels a sharp pain as a sword is thrust into his back and out his chest. A woman with long red hair tells Wolverine, "That's not going to keep him down long. And you're going to pass out, right? Good, heal up." However, before that, there's one thing that I've wanted to do for a long time. She reaches down, lifting Wolverine and kissing him, whispering, "The answers that you seek are at the Weapon X facility. But hurry, he'll know I told you." Wolverine listens to the woman. There's something familiar about her accent. It was Italian with a hint of Japanese, but where did he hear that before? Some time passes, and just as Wolverine, though, the woman is gone, leaving him to believe what she said and head the Weapon X facility. It's been a while since he's been here, but he does remember being tested, trained, and tortured, and that Romulus was a part of it. He cuts his way into one of the steel doors, kicking it in, and then when he steps in, he stomps dead in his tracks. In front of him, dozens of test tubes all bubble with green liquid, and inside each of them, Sabertooth. Wolverine asks, "Didn't I kill the real one?" And from the tubes, Sabertooth bursts out stating, "This one's a real deal! I'm back just in time to see the runt die!" Wolverine swings, cutting into Sabertooth's mouth, and Sabertooth tells him, "I actually missed you. I was away training, learning, making myself smarter." Wolverine tells him, "That's funny, because the only thing that I'm interested in is why you're not dead." Your head was cut off with a mystical blade that made it impossible for you to return from the grave. As dumb as it sounds, that's exactly what happened. But you're set now. It's different. I'm fighting the beast. More and more Sabretooth clones start jumping out of their tubes, all tackling Wolverine to the ground, and the real Sabretooth tells him, "It's not so easy when there's dozens of me, huh?" Wolverine struggles to free himself, telling him, "That just means that there's more of you to kill." Sabretooth then laughs, walking away, telling him, "If you live till morning, then we can fight, runt." Wolverine pushes through the dog pile, screaming for Sabretooth, but sure enough, as he tries to follow, Sabretooth has already left. Wolverine knows Romulus is involved in this. It has him written all over it. Romulus claimed to know more about mutant genetics than Xavier or Magneto, and judging by this, he might be right. Wolverine fights his way back to the jet, and even after it takes off, the clones are jumping up onto it. They punch their way through the jet's windshield, so Wolverine does the only thing that would kill them all. He flies the jet right back into the facility. There's a loud explosion as the jet barrels into it, bursting into flames, and from the wreckage, Wolverine walks out mangled, set ablaze. He groans as he pulls a piece of metal stuck in his skull out, and as the flaming Sabretooth clones all charge at him, a woman's voice yells at him to get down. Just then, the woman from before runs in, dual-wielding swords, and she begins to cut the clones down. With a moment to themselves, the woman throws Wolverine a sword, asking, "How long will it take to have that handsome face healed up again?" He takes it, telling her, "Long enough. I would like to know who you are, though." The two start to go back and forth, hacking through the clones, and Wolverine says, "This is a nice blade. Do you mind losing it?" She tells him it was a gift from long ago. Why? He throws the sword, telling her, "You didn't say no." The sword lands right into the fuel line from the building, and a few seconds later, the entire facility explodes. The two are thrown outside into the snow, and just then the helicopter lands and the woman says that that's her ride. No time to wait. Sabretooth already has a pretty good head start on them. As Wolverine gets back in, he thinks about the woman's accent. He's heard it before from someone else, Romulus. He grabs her, asking, "Just who the hell are you?" And the woman tells him, "Not a lot of men live after they lay a hand on me, but you were always an exception to that rule." They kiss once more, but then there's two snicks. Wolverine pulls back with his two outer claws on the sides of the woman's face. "On the count of 3, give me the truth or your brains come out." 1. She says that she wishes it was that easy, but he's the one playing the games, not her. He slowly pulls his hand back, and the woman tells him that her name is Remus, as in Romulus and Remus. She's gonna need a favor that will help the both of them. She needs him to kill her twin brother. Wolverine asks, "Why should I help you?" And Remus says, "Because it's the truth." Wolverine lunges over with his claws out, stating, "I'm not a big fan of your family. How about I just kill you instead?" Remus knees Wolverine in the stomach, telling him that she has answers about Romulus, Sabertooth, and every lie he's ever been told. She then slams Wolverine into the side of the helicopter, pushing him out, telling him, "Just remember, I did ask nicely." Wolverine slams his fist into the side to stop himself from falling, and then grabs Remus by the leg, pulling her out with him. She quickly grabs onto him, and Wolverine asks, "I'll survive the fall. Will you?" She asks how does he know that she wouldn't as well. And then there's a loud schnick as a long claw pops out from under her wrist, and she stabs it into Wolverine's arm. The two fall from the helicopter, tumbling down the cliffside until they finally come to a stop. He stands up, stating, "I enjoyed that kiss earlier, but now I want to kill you." What the hell? Remus gets up with half her body torn away to the bone, and as it regrows, she says she's been around a very long time. She has a healing factor among other things. You really don't remember, do you, Wolverine? The things they did to you at Weapon X? There was a saying, "Quod sum eris," and Wolverine translates, "I am what you will be." That is Romulus's go-to phrase, that he would be like him one day. Remus goes on stating that she and her brother have watched entire civilizations rise and fall. Hunnic Empire, Roman, Greek, the Third Reich, each opportunity taken from glory to wasteland. The common denominator was that humans were the architects. But what if there were only mutants? Wolverine scoffs, stating that Romulus is trying to create a master race. Magneto in Apocalypse chased that dragon before. It ends really badly every time. Remus then says that there's so much that he doesn't know. So much that he didn't want him to remember. So much he agreed to. Wolverine asks, "What does Romulus want with Sabretooth?" And Remus asks, "Are you gonna let it out? What did you call it? Your berserker rage? Is that your true self?" Romulus wasn't looking for a new species to test. He was looking to create one. The bones that he found in the elephant graveyard of Wakanda. Do you think Romulus left them there by mistake? It was to throw you off. He was mining there the entire time, making it look as if it were possible. Wolverine asks, "He was mining vibranium?" And Remus then tells him, "Yes, as a part of a new adamantium, for a new age, our age. Romulus doesn't want you dead, he wants you at his side." Wolverine stares Remus dead in the eyes and tells her, "Take me to Romulus, now." A short while later, in Romulus's Italian hideout, Cloak teleports everyone over, and Wolverine quickly tells everyone that they all have their reasons for being here, but he's gonna go first. After sniffing the air, Wolverine can tell that Romulus is in fact there, but so is a second scent, Sabertooth. Sabertooth leaps out of the shadow, stating, "I'm not really surprised. You'd follow a redhead straight into hell if she was pretty enough." Wolverine spins back, charging into Sabertooth, but Sabertooth grabs him by the head, slamming him into the nearby wall. The two swing and swipe at each other, and after a few good hits, Wolverine punches Sabertooth into the ground. As he tries to get back up, Wolverine slams his fist into Sabertooth's chin, stabbing his claws through the underpart of Sabertooth's throat and out his mouth. He falls back lifeless, and Wolverine picks up the dead body, throwing it into the next room. He follows, seeing another test tube, but this time Romulus is in it, and he screams his name. Romulus breaks through the tube, lunging at Wolverine, and Wolverine takes a quick shot at slashing at Romulus's face. Romulus kicks him back, telling him, "You will forever be the disappointment." Romulus then looks back with half his face ripped to the adamantium bone, telling Wolverine, "Cur sum eris." Wolverine then asks, "What was the point of all of these years of dealing with Weapon X just to become a cheap imitation?" Claws slowly begin ripping through the skin on Romulus's knuckles, and he tells him, "You don't understand. You're the one here who's thinking small. You're the one here who's had his memories changed. You're the one who made himself into a tortured test subject. The search of the truth has brought you back to the biggest lie ever told. The Weapon X program was, and will always be, your idea, Logan." Wolverine braces himself for Romulus' attack, but as he tells himself, it's all lies, somewhere deep down inside, he can't help but believe what Romulus is stating. The two run at each other, colliding, and as they fight, Sabertooth slowly gets back up, stating, "Good, this is good. The smell of blood really gets me going." Wolverine punches his claw straight into Romulus' chest, but Sabertooth runs in, ripping into Wolverine's back. Wolverine falls to his knees with Sabertooth shouting to Romulus to finish the job, but Romulus tells him, "No, I've got a better idea. I'm not going to kill him, I'm going to make him remember." Romulus slams his claws into the side of Wolverine's face, and then something strange begins to happen. Wolverine remembers. There are 4 of them. Wolverine, Sabertooth, Romulus, and Remus, and they went to the Weapon X facility. They butchered the Weapon H guards posted there so that they could start work on creating something Canadians didn't really have, a super soldier program. Except instead of using Steve Rogers, they were going to use Wolverine. They would be creating a blueprint to an empire, a revolution to an evolution. The thing was, Wolverine knew exactly what he was doing. Wolverine groans as he comes back to reality, trying to get his head straight, and he jumps to his feet yelling, "Romulus, I ain't dead yet!" Just then, Cloak teleports in both Dagger and Remus, and Sabertooth says, "Look, it's the brats!" Next time she says kill someone, kill someone! Sabertooth punches Cloak, telling him, "If you think siding with Wolverine gives you any cred, you're sorely mistaken. The little girl's going to die, and you're gonna watch." Romulus lunges at Remus, stating that they could have shared this future. Instead, she let her emotions control her. Wolverine runs over, throwing Romulus off of her, telling Remus, "I appreciate the backup. How about we end this?" He punches Romulus over and over, and as he does, Sabertooth punches him with a small metal device. He says, "Never thought we'd have a plan B, but here we are. I hit this switch and we all go boom in 3, 2... Before Wolverine can tell him to stop, the button is pressed and the explosion throws Wolverine, Sabertooth, and Romulus to the sea below. Wolverine can see Sabertooth getting out, but before he can make his way there, there's a tug at his leg. Romulus pulls down on Wolverine's leg, but Wolverine knows something that he had to go through when he first got his adamantium bones, managing his weight while underwater. Even with all of the healing factor in the world, you still gotta breathe. He punches into Romulus's ribs, puncturing his lungs, and as water slowly fills them up, Romulus sinks. Romulus, however, didn't die. He was picked up and transferred to the raft. Guessed being an Avenger has some perks. Cloak and Dagger decided to join him, and Remus on the beach since Sabertooth was nowhere to be found after the explosion. Whether or not what Romulus said was true, it didn't matter. It's in the past, and he has to live for the future. Remus's kiss brought back some memories, particularly when she started to defy him and his ambitions. You can hear Romulus stating that they need to remove all of his memories, specifically those about his sister. But who knows? Maybe that's not even true. For right now, he's going to enjoy being with a pretty woman. Wolverine deserves a happy ending once and for all, even if it may not be true. And that brings us to the conclusion of Wolverine Sabertooth Reborn, revisiting a lot of the past history from Wolverine as a part of the Wolverine Goes to Hell storyline. It's kind of all over the place, but I feel like a lot of what Jason Aaron was doing is cleaning up a lot of the Wolverine past. Now, stay subscribed to the channel, or subscribe if you want to get the finale to the Wolverine Goes to Hell storyline. We're going to be bringing that to you probably next week or the week after. Spider-Man's going to cause some issues in our schedule. Hope you guys enjoyed this, and let me know what you think. Who's better, Sabretooth or Wolverine, in the comments down below. Also, I'll see you next time right here. Thanks for joining us, and thanks for the support.